Oops. For some reason, my mic went on and off, so they didn't catch that. Welcome, folks, to the show. Welcome to Star Citizen. Grievances, the Star Citizen Report, coming to you every other Saturday, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. Oh, I'm your host, Thamin, and got my co-host over here.
Hi, Whoop. How's it going?
All right. Folks, welcome to the show. Hope things are going well tonight. Bubba Grady, good to see you there. Good to see everybody else. So we're going to talk about the latest news around the Star Citizen universe here. And
Woo.
I'm just making one adjustment here. And I'll give everybody a quick rundown on what we're going to talk about a lot tonight. Because I know we are waiting mainly for the Alpha 2.0, the baby persistent universe, which is somewhere around the corner. Who knows? Maybe by the next time we're broadcasting, we'll be downloaded. Who knows? That we don't know yet. But we're going to go over a few things. We'll be showing you shortly a galaxy jump map I found that's actually pretty good reference. We've got a peek at the 2.0 ship UI that's new. Really nice demo that they put out that looks pretty sweet. How you can adjust not just the old UI, but how you can look at this new one. Something that I'll have to show you. We know that we've got news of the anniversary party that's coming up later this week for Star Citizen.
Spend your money.
Yes. Let's see if they end up passing the 100 million mark. See about that. Constellation and one of the longest ship shapes out there, and that's a multi-cruise ship that a lot of people very popular have picked up. So we get a good look at the new Constellation. We've also got news. Woopnyo will be going over the Cutlass with you.
Yar.
So learn what's the latest with that pirate ship, or we need to come up with a illegal merchant ship, unethical merchant ship. I don't know. And as far as and other news and changes as we prepare for the launch of Alpha 2.0. Thanks, folks, again for joining us. Hello, Swiss Pilot. Welcome back. Actually, let me put it out there right off early in the show. Whoop, do you still have a ship to give away?
Yeah. Yeah,
Well,
I do. We get the Aurora MR, right? Yeah.
Yep. What I was thinking, of course, too short notice for this show, but can I count on you in 2 weeks? And if people are here, we'll find a winner and we'll get that into somebody's hands.
If we have 25 people next week, I'll give it away.
All right.
If we have 25 people live watching, I'll do it. That's fine.
All righty. That's a good one we'll have to get out there now. So tell your friends, get watching next week for a chance to win a free ship. All right, have to be in here. Obviously, we need 25 people in the channel. And
it's not just a ship; it's a full package. So you can give it away to your friends, just get you into the game, whatever you want to do. So it's a Aurora MR25 package, and it comes with the whole thing.
There you go. Good time for people to get into. People keep asking me, well, it's not out yet. Well, with 2.0, it's going to get exciting. Mm-hmm. All right. So let's go over the first thing. So I was going to show, I picked up this map from, and I wish I knew from somewhere, whether it was Reddit or the forums, and it is an awesome jump gate map that came up. I'd love to know who came up with this thing. A nice, easy reference that kind of shows the travel points, Vanduul space, Xeon space, shows everything else. I was studying it, and I thought Sol and Terra were closer together than they are. They're actually quite a few jumps apart. But you can also kind of see with the thicker lines, kind of the main traffic lanes, if you happen to be tooling around in one of the larger ships.
I think we saw something very similar to this one a couple of weeks ago, maybe a month and a half ago. And somebody who was watching said, hey, you're missing one of these jumps because it wasn't really updated yet.
That might have been it. That might have been, yeah, someone in the channel represented this map here. Mm-hmm. But this is a pretty good one. I bet there's even more stuff floating out there, but I saw it and I had to link this one out. So, but yes, I wouldn't mind if anyone could give me a better if somebody could find out where that came from, so I give the person proper intro that did it. Bubba Grady. So yes, you're asking about the full package and the link. It is the Aurora MR. There you
Yeah,
go.
just
Woopnyo's got it in there for you.
that's the older one. I think this one only gives 3 months, but the one I'm giving away has 6 months because that's what it comes with. But that's okay.
Yeah. It's all the ship you really need. You don't need to fall into the money trap that the rest of us have, buying all these
Of course
ships
you
and
do.
filling out a hangar. All right. So also what we got is you see this PC Gamer article. I've got to get into this too before we get into our big stories. A man who spent $30,000 on Star Citizen ships. Yeah, Aussie 311. He owns the Completionist with the Mile High Club package, which is a 50,000 package in itself. And he says he made the money specifically performing jobs on the side to make that money. I'm not that
So,
dedicated to my video games, but man,
what job is he working that he's able to sustain himself and work side jobs to raise 30 grand?
all right. See you, Swiss. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, man, that's, I don't know, 30. I'd love it if my side job made me 30 grand. So he did a few quotes. He says, growing up, all the different flavors of Star Trek and Star Wars, Battlestar Galactica, Starship Troopers, and Firefly, all these science fiction movies, and you just wish you could live that life. And we do. And in regards to recent controversy with Star Citizen, he says, this is real. And all of the things that are being negatively said about Chris and the whole crew of Cloud Imperium are false. I do tend to, yeah.
I think that it's combating what that other guy says. He's always suing Chris Roberts, always says something against Chris Roberts. So it's nice to see somebody who actually believes in what's going on and knows what's going on behind the scenes. That's pretty nice.
Yeah. And other thing I got here. So let's show you guys this new UI that they're planning for 2.0. Let me pull that up and get this video running here.
Looking forward to 2.0. Can't wait.
Same thing overlaying the Connie's systems. Cutlass. Alrighty. So check that out.
How do you feel about it?
I thought it looked good. It looked pretty smooth. Only thing I may be minded that is the way that you do kind of take your eyes off the center of the screen to take a look at that stuff. But on the other hand, I've had a lot of trouble messing with the current UI in the past to try to get things working in the middle of combat. So I have to see if that feels better or worse for me in that regards.
I think it's going to be very difficult to change things in the middle of a firefight unless you know what buttons do what and you already got that muscle memory down. It's going to be very difficult to do while you're flying and shooting.
I already find that hard enough to do a lot of times, and
yeah, completely agree.
Yeah, some folks are using voice attack and programs like Anna to get around it, which I downloaded, but I haven't really got used to that system yet either. So some folks are doing that. It'd be great if I could have a way to do that stuff, change it quick, without having to rely on third-party software and such.
I'd kind of be happy if I was a better pilot, but that's okay.
All right. But that's interesting too. They did say, you know, on constellations, ideally you could be the captain standing over somebody at the helm, and while they're doing that, you can look at their screen too and see what they're doing, and yell at them if you want. Oh. There will be important news this upcoming week, the Star Citizens anniversary party. So I'll be interested to see what goes on with that. So this Thursday, November 19th, they have got a 3-hour live stream from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And we know that there's going to be some, they sound like they're going to show us new content from just about everything. There's going to be a ship sale, and there's going to be some new ships involved with that. So watch your wallet this upcoming weekend.
Are there any ships that you're looking to upgrade to?
One thing I've been doing is I've got the Mustang Racer, and my experience, I crashed too many times. Racing's not for me. So now that they've got the new system that makes it easy to upgrade, I'm going to switch it out, but I haven't totally decided what yet. I figured some kind of Explorer, but I'm interested, too, to see what they offer this weekend, and maybe there'll be something to convince me to switch over there.
I'm still trying to decide what to do with my Avenger. I still am yet to see any of the variants. I like the idea of it because you're one person can control the whole ship, and you're bounty hunting, and you have cargo capacity in the back to throw people in there, and I like that. I want to see what it can become. But like the Cutlass is right there, and it's for was it $60 more? I can upgrade to the Cutlass Black, and that can modularize to what I want that to do. So I don't know.
Hello, Nevlings. Like starships. And hello, Eluth. Yeah, we love starships. I already got too many of them, but I'm definitely going to be putting them through their paces.
Only money. What do you need them for?
Yeah. Only that. So I'm going to work my way up to the Constellation here. That's the other thing. They had this awesome video on the most recent Around the Verse in which they talked about this. The Constellation, of course, very popular ship with a lot of people. I mean, that was the oops, moving one thing here on my control panel. Okay, so let me bring this up here and start running around this here. So the Constellation has also been revamped, seen some improvements now, and they were showing it. Even that, you had one complaint, which I'll get to in a moment. It was actually a pretty funny one. Now they've decided to actually break down the Constellation into different parts. There is now a nose, a neck, a body, and a tail section to make all of it easily more moddable. They've done a number of things like further separate it with bulkheads and such so that they don't have any issues. Actually, there it is right there. If I move this out of the way, I think the screenshot moved a bit. I was going to show you one of the first complaints I heard out of this came with in the back of the cockpit here. There's a spot where there's a cable. There we go, in the lower left, running across the floor. And so someone out there was already big arrow pointed at it and go, hey, this is the redid Constellation. How come there's a trip hazard laying across the cockpit floor there? I thought that
was a tripping hazard. Wish I would have an issue with that.
But yeah, they started adding bulkheads because originally the whole ship you could pretty much see front to back. Now, now they've sealed it off, so if someone goes EVA, you don't end up exposing the whole bridge to space. That's bad. They've added a lot more fidelity, bringing up closer to the Retaliator. You can see things like interior lighting improvements, even a bit of fog when it's circulating air. I've also thought, obviously people can see there's been changes to the front seats too. The captain's seat used to sit a little more in the back. Now it's been brought up even with the other two seats. Captain's seat. I don't know if you necessarily qualify that as the captain's seat anymore. Have to get in and
pretty cool.
find out.
It spins around. I like that. The little fidelity, little touches, little details. It's pretty cool.
As folks can kind of see too here, you can. One thing that was asked for was the ease of turret entry, because now if you're like say in the back, you can run to the bridge and run and enter it directly from the rear portion instead of having to run all the way around to the front of the seat in order to get into it and go up into the turret. Now they did discuss where they did not adopt the fans' request of an inverted bottom turret so that your head would be down, which folks saw in the Retaliator. You know, they liked that. But they were saying they've already worked like 8+ months on this ship. And when the function was implemented in the Retaliator, they'd already passed the point of no return trying to do the same thing to the Connie. They did increase the turret field of view to help compensate, though. So.
That'll have to be good enough. It's difficult just to do that the way it is now.
Yeah. And then I think I agree with him that, you know, it might sound like a cop-out, but it's true that, you know, not every company is going to be doing things the same way. Yeah. So, you know, who knows? Some people could get totally disoriented if they're head down on that ship. They go into the next section, which is now the new crew quarters. They have a new larger airlock that the whole crew of 5 can stand on when lowered. Apparently there was a little too much dancing around trying to get down the smaller lift that they had before. There's a kitchen and bathroom, little tuck-away tables, an efficiently small living space. I'm just kind of moving the video forward a bit here so we can... Now that's actually concentrating on the turret there. But anyways, yeah, so efficiently small living space. Now, I thought it was funny that when they opened the door to the bathroom, and they were afraid to open the door to the bathroom because they still had some bugs with it. Jared was looking over Chris's shoulder, and he's like, "Where's the toilet paper?" And, you know, Chris is looking, he's like, "Whoops, okay, we'll get that added in."
At least it's better than his first part for AC-1. I can't move, I can't shoot.
Which reminds me, you know, where is Memo? Every time we have something big to announce for a Constellation, Memo's not here. You know, we did the variants.
He's just always so busy.
Man, Memo, this is your ship. This is his ship more than mine, because they're walking through the standard Constellation here. I only upgrade to the Taurus, so I don't have a bottom turret or a Merlin hanging on. All right, so other than that, they've got lockers and armory added right next to the beds / escape pods. When EVA happens, same concept. Nothing unnecessary gets exposed to it. Hopefully. You know people are going to mess that up.
2 people open up bulkheads at the same time.
Just getting out of bed. Whoops. Oh, so then they... let's see. I'll move down to go along with what we're talking about here. You can kind of see right there that area where the beds are, the escape pods. And kind of these parts kind of close off, and there's like a weapons locker right next to it there.
I wonder if they're going to have all the lettering in there just in English, or if they're going to have it multi-language. Because it'd be cool like to have it in Japanese or German or Korean or something like that, you know.
That's
as opposed to everything being English. Because apparently in all movies there's no Asian guys. No, there's Asian guys, no Mexicans. Is that right? Just horrible.
There you go. Probably put down a long term. Now I'm going to stop here and show you one thing. Now this is the body and the main cargo, and we can see the cargo bay down below. And one thing they added is if you look in the upper left, when you're walking down this area, now you can see the missile rack, as the missiles will load up into the guns right above it. If you're standing there and there's combat going on, you'll see the missiles loading up as they get fired off. But the thing I thought odd about this was if you look to the right, there's the airlock. And so, you know, possible pirate entry right there, and any bullets or grenades that are flying are right next to a missile rack.
Sounds safe, right?
Man, that's going to make boarding require a bit more either skill or dumb luck. Just oh. Man, so highly dangerous. I think they may look at that again once stuff starts happening in the verse. We'll see. Now obviously they
Especially
did
because they
say,
were exposed. If they weren't, it wouldn't be that big of a deal.
yeah,
But still,
man. They did say too, further back in the cargo bay area, there's some big boxes that are marked avionics in this video, but they're going to be replaced by components that you can service and repair. So as you add certain, who knows, electrical or add-on components to your ship, it gives a spot down there where somebody can be pulling them out, working on and repairing them. So I thought that added kind of nicely to it.
I like Flown Wolves. He's had some really good comments so far. Inverted turrets, you fly upside down. Anti-boarding by design. It'd be really cool if you could blow off the airlock like from the outside and then shoot the missiles that are hanging down, like from your ship on the
That's
outside. But
true.
you know, that takes sniper skill, and that's not something I have with two moving
Oh,
targets.
yeah. That's me too. Well, that to me also tells me even if I'm in a ship firing on the Connie, it's like aim for the doors, not because of the doors, but what's just beyond them. Let's see. Get even a little further in here. All right, we're going externally. There is a hatch at the rear of the cargo bay, which is where you would drop into the Merlin. And you'll be able to see it coming up here. I mean, right now I'm showing the outside, but from the back of the Connie, you can actually see where the Merlin hangs down. Most of it is still exposed to space. Just the cockpit where you climb in is open that you can see. They did say again, you know, they tried to make with the RSI style. The front window framework looks a little more framey. They actually said that. Industrial, constructed. I think it's supposed to still kind of fall in line with what they did with the Aurora since it's the same company. They redid the maneuvering thrusters in their positions. They upgraded the wing sections and flaps. And even some battle lighting around the turret. They also revamped the missile launchers on the outside. So I'm going to go down here with that. You can really see kind of when they get up close to parts of the ship here, how they can mess with things. And they didn't mess with everything. Like they didn't open up the wings where you can see the hover fans inside, but you can see like where the other hatches are, where the escape pods pop out.
The front cockpit, can you see better out of it now? Because they've remodeled it a few times, and some of them they just don't look right when you're like looking down out there. It's really the bars that support the glass are very difficult to see through.
It's hard to say. There still are, yes, a good number of struts, bars still there. I know they would point out that this isn't really a dogfighter, so probably, hopefully, anything you'd be shooting front guns at is big enough that you can see it past the struts. But yeah, there's still a lot of struts there.
Well, vision isn't just for fighting. So.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you want to be able to see what you're docking with?
Maybe.
Let's see. I'm just going to move further on in this because it's, of course, it's a long video. You can see the outside of the hatches here. And I'm trying to move back. There's the engine nacelles. You can see where missile areas and lasers are coming off that. They've also added where the countermeasures launch off the nacelles. And there's even some little glass-covered panels on there for the looks. They even said the landing gear here, you know, you got rid of the old jet skis for this new landing gear it's showing. And I was looking for a pause part. It's kind of floating around where we're going to see that Merlin tucked away. Here we go. Now here's the rear of the ship, and you can see the Merlin engines hanging down from it there. So you got to be in that very tail to get on board the thing. And it's hanging exposed, so who knows, if you do a surprise attack, maybe you want to aim for the Merlin first. I imagine if that blows up all connected to the ship, that's not a good thing.
Well, to be fair, when you're aiming at something like that, the Merlin is so small in comparison, you're probably going to hit the shields, or you're going to hit the Connie before you hit anything else. Broadside of a barn versus a little rock, I don't know.
Yeah. And they did say, for all the look of this new Constellation, it has 500,000 less polys than the original, and yet they feel that it looks like it's got twice as much. They feel the look is a lot better.
If you fire up the Merlin engines, if while it's still attached, you get a speed boost. So there's that concept comes from the early space shuttles where they used to dock them onto the top of the C-130 type aircraft, and it would fly them up into the stratosphere and then detach and let the rockets fly. Oh, that would be pretty cool.
Man, it'd be interesting to see how that Merlin
Inertia
works.
can help and hurt, depends how you use it.
And yeah, that's mostly what I had to cover for the Constellation. Definitely a lot of people looking for this ship. I'm definitely liking what I'm seeing. I think it's gonna, I think this still is gonna appease a lot of people. I mean, the strut and framework up front could still be an issue, but
Well, definitely. The Connie is a really popular ship for the Star Citizen community. It's very reminiscent of the Millennium Falcon and what's that other one? Not Firefly. The other one. Singularity, Serendipity, something like that. But
Serenity.
Serenity. There you go. Because I know all the words. It's really reminiscent of ships that people like in other sci-fi games and movies and stuff like that. The stories, and really you get attached to a certain kind of ship. And that one actually brings in a lot that a lot of people like.
Yeah. And definitely here's another one I may come back to. Since we're here, I'm just showing you quick the art sneak peek they had on the Freelancer as part of this episode. Now, obviously, I don't have one. I upgraded to the Taurus, but I may still own a Freelancer before it's over. Nice little ship. Even though I still think it's the Winnebago of the Star Citizen universe.
Just keep pouring money in it. It's okay. I hear when you get $2,000 in, you get your very own barf.
There we go. All right. There we go. All right. So let's move on and discuss the Cutlass a bit here.
So
that's
the
other one
Cutlass,
that they just came out with the notes. Yep.
right? The Cutlass was actually part of the Shipyard. It's a new publication that they're going to do, and you can go into it, read it. It's actually really good. It goes through the history of the ship, goes through how they thought about it, how they created it completely from beginning to end. It comes with some concept art, comes with stuff that's already put out with work in progress, and links are through the whole thing and at the end. I was really impressed by how well this was put together. It's totally worth reading. And at the very end of it, there's 2 votes. And the 2 votes, I'll just cover those right now. If I can find it, because I can read too, I swear. All right, it says, should the Shipyard focus on next? What ship? So you get the Aurora, the Hornet, the Freelancer, Constellation, and Starfarer. So if you own one of those 5 ships, then you want to know more about it, of course, vote. Right now, Freelancer is winning. I've got 46% on my screen, but that does not mean that they have won. Further, there's a second question that says, which would you be interested in trading your Cutlass for? A Buccaneer. Would you be interested in trading your Cutlass for a Buccaneer? Because I'm a speed reader too. Yes, I want to trade my ship. No, I want more room for loot. I don't have a Cutlass, but I'm interested in Buccaneer. No, Drake ships are for losers, Miss Squirrel. So pick whatever you want. That's your choice. But definitely go in there and do the Shipyard pool. It's pretty cool to see this type of quality come out from this product. So of course, this Cutlass got its own roots from the game before called Privateer. It's a cheaper, lower quality model, but it's faster and holds a lot of loot. As long as you got rockets, you can be a mercenary or a pirate usually, but you need someplace to put the loot and carry it. It also got its roots from a captured HE-162. It is a German jet fighter that had a wood frame as opposed to metal because the Americans and Allies were destroying the metal facilities in Germany, so they needed a different way to make them.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I wouldn't have thought about that, and here it is in here. Yeah.
So do you think backers would go for a Cutlass made out of wood?
No. Oh, wow. All right, so the Cutlass is a two-person craft. It's a 1.5 actually, but it's two-person. Right now, it's in flyable mode, the black style, Cutlass Black. There's 3 variants. That's the most basic one. Comes with the most room on the inside, and you have the main pilot that can do everything in there, and then you have the co-pilot, which controls like engines and power. You can do the turret on top, stuff like that. It's the very smallest multi-crew ship out there right now. But it's got 2 variants. The black one is the standard. The red one is search and rescue, which the modular on the inside is like healing pods and search and rescue sensors. But the most important part of it is that it can attach to a escape pod. So if one of your friends gets blown out in space in this escape pod or runs from a ship or something like that, you can attach to it and rescue them. You can also do the same thing with enemies, but I'm not going there. It's okay. The blue ship is a police force one. Now it isn't specifically for one style of police. It's a cheaper ship, so it's used by like militia type style. And they're still trying to decide where they put the cells on it. Of course, it's going to be in the middle modular section, but they were trying to decide if they want to do it on the exterior walls or the interior, because on the interior you can have like 6 cells all lined up together in a hex format. And an elevator would drop down all 6 at the same time, as opposed to unloading one person, getting them into the elevator, and dropping them down. So it's easier to load and unload prisoners. Furthermore, they also hinted that there were going to be other variants for the ship as well, but they didn't say what all of the modulars were. But one of them was a dropship version similar to the Retaliator. So you can get your guys in there and launch them out of a small cutlass, which is a smaller profile. It's harder to spot, and people will probably not think about it as opposed to the Retaliator.
I can see it surprising some people. A cutlass drops down, all of a sudden, more of a clown car as all these Marines come rolling out of it.
Right? Oh, look at the little red one. No, don't worry about that one. It's just a search and rescue. Oh my God, reported! C-3PO moment. But it does have regular cockpit and storage. They've changed the cockpit quite a lot. There are 2 seats still in there, but the monitors on them are just like the regular multi-cruise ships screens right now. So that way you can give sections to different people. It needs a minimum of 1.5, 2 people to actually use the ship, but you can use more. You can have like 5 different stations on this thing, including someone manning the turret. There's only 1 turret, of course. In the red version, the search and rescue one, they replaced the cannon that's on that with a sensor, so you can go out and find things. But of course, you can change that too. Whatever.
There you
go.
So I had to answer Flown Wolf. So can you turn off the gravity in your Cutlass Blue and bounce around your captives? And I had to answer, we can only hope.
Cute.
Remember, though, they probably are worth still more alive.
Well, the cockpit and the all the other sections of the vehicle are all sectioned off by bulkheads. So, of course, if you get damaged or somebody opens it up to the environment, the EVA, then not everybody will get sucked out, because that would just suck. There's a engineering seat, there's a second seat, and then there's 2 seats in the back, so that way your people can be there by the elevator if they need to for whatever reason. It does have living quarters. It's in the neck of the ship between the cockpit and the modular middle section. It also has storage built into behind the between the exterior wall and the interior wall. So it's not big enough to hide a Wookiee, but you can put like a weapon or something in there. Some small
big enough to hide a Wookiee?
Yeah, too small for a Wookiee. More talk about the docking collars. I like that they are not just modularized, but they're uniforming them, because 2 meters is 6 feet, give or take. So that's a good amount of space. Standard wideness of a person is between 3 and 4 feet, so you can at least stand sideways, move side to side, get past each other. It might not be shoulder to shoulder, but you can get through it one way or another. Yes, you can fit an Ewok. No, probably not.
Could jam the Ewoks in.
Maybe half an Ewok. Maybe 2 halves of an Ewok, just flat. That's a horrible idea. But I really am impressed by the central modular room in there. I can't wait to see what they're going to do with the full thing. The rear ramp is pretty cool as well. It's of course 2 meters wide, so it's a little small, but you can still fit up the one size crate, the regular crates. So you can't fit large bulk items in there. You can just deal with the small ones. You know, it was fine. It's a smaller craft anyways. They're still trying to pound out how this thing flies because right now it's flyable. The black model is flyable in AC, and you can get in there. But everybody who logs in with the Cutlass notices a huge lag spike. It's very resource heavy. They have changed it for 2.0. They're still working on it. It's not completed, but they are working on it. So when 2.0 comes out, go out and see a Countless. You won't get crashed. Be all right.
So yeah, hopefully that's. Oh.
Go ahead.
But it sounds good, yeah, because they said there used to be a lag spike every time one spawned into Arena Commander. So.
Yeah, they're redoing the damage textures on it right now. They're also talking about different textures for the exterior, red and blue series. They look all pretty similar right now, apparently. So they were trying to make more cosmetic changes. But like the law enforcement should have flashy lights or something on the outside, so you can have that. It's a different paint job. But they are trying to change a few things with the boosters, just the way it'll move. Another problem is it's not as agile as it should be. They had a video about it, and it showed the thing doing flips and arcing and moving around and evading like rockets and missiles, and an entire swarm gets launched at it. It just sidesteps it. Right now, as it is in game, it cannot do it. Hopefully, with 2.0, it should be lighter, more agile, able to keep up scrap fights. Should be okay.
Right.
But unfortunately, it only has two seats for evac. So you can have like 5 people operating this thing, but there's only 2 people surviving on the way out.
Yes. So have a collection of long and short straws right next to the drop pod, right next to the escape pods. Yeah. Some other stuff here. Go through some. Just make sure you're done, and I'll go into some other announcements.
Go ahead, that's fine. I covered most of the main things. Please go out and read it. It's actually really informative and entertaining. The people who wrote this had a sense of humor, which is always good for me. I get bored easy while reading.
Let's see. I'm going to jump at this. There's a good buggy video here, which I'm going to share.
Is that the one with the weapon attached to it?
This one is titled Apocalypse Now. It's exploding buggies in our core.
Didn't they say that we destroyed enough buggies to build an Idris?
So I was looking for the quote here. All right. So yes, from BHVR on the monthly report to all the reckless drivers on ArcCorp. We were all quite impressed with your driving skills and your unstoppable determination to drive a buggy inside the G-Loc bar. You created enough scrap metal from those damaged buggies to build an Idris.
There you go.
I had to love that. I thought it was one of the best quotes I ran across too there. And they did say, since we're talking about buggies, the buggies have been buggy, but it's helped them allow them to troubleshoot. Since then, we've seen like a number of other improvements. They've added guns to Voyager Direct. They're still trying to affect how EMP might affect other targets, like maybe other missiles that happen to streak by, or even if your own ship if it's too close. We know that there's going to be that they're working hard on the clothing and animations and props for the Kasaba outlet shop. Can't wait till we can try on our new duds. And it's just the shops themselves. Try to get them function and working. They've also said they're putting in a lot of effort into fully functioning NPC ships to go about and react as they normally would, depending on their faction. If they run into pirates or merchants or UEE patrol, that they act appropriately with each other. And that repair platforms out on the, I forget the name of the little floating repair refuel stations that they're going to have. They're going to be working on those ships as normal too.
Refuel and repair free for now.
Yep, we can't wait to get out there and try it, man. Yeah. The ARC Starmap nominated for several awards across the internet and won the CSS Design Award. Ooh.
It is actually really cool. I prefer like the run and gun and the shooting and aspect, but yeah, I can respect that. Somebody put a lot of work into it, did the research, and really built something that I can be proud to say that. Yeah, I looked at that. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Gonna run another quick video here. I love these little 30-second clips they've been playing on around the verse as well here. That the situations people get into.
I'm here.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Get the holy holy
Man, so I had that, and what did this also have? This had a peak of a Retaliator escape pod use and recovery by an Avenger. So, of course, I got to grab that, too. That was pretty awesome. I think you mentioned that was, yes, one of the big things that the Red Cutlass will have on it now, too.
Oh yeah, I think that's really cool. Like you can just pull up to an escape pod and attach and get the person out of there, assuming they live. But whatever. And not all escape pods have people in them. Some have droids.
Well, even if they don't live, that's free scrap from the escape pod itself, right there.
It must be a malfunction. Okay.
Let's see. They did say, you know, when Ben Lesnick was saying, when people were asking about Alpha 2.0, he's saying it's like a delicious cake. Once they baked it and it meets their standards, they will serve it to us. Oh, let's see what else they got.
Respect that. Come on. I want to make sure it's right.
Let's see. I keep looking at this other stuff, wondering if they're going to give clues as to what new ships we'll see this week. Reports like, okay, they're finishing the gray box for the Reliant, the Crucible concept and Salvage Mechanic are coming together. I thought it's interesting they said that. I mean, wasn't the Crucible the ship repair, the ship that repairs other ships?
I think so, yeah.
And yet
right.
they kind of grouped it with the Salvage Mechanic. So it must still come close, but...
Well, it could be very difficult to say right now because we don't know how the repair mechanic works, let alone the salvage mechanic. It's going to be more like the mining, how like one person takes care of one part of the job and somebody else takes care of the other part. So it might be one person attaching, another person surveying damage, and another person using like an arm or whatever to repair, but we don't really know yet. It's really interesting what you can come up with, but...
Yeah, let's see what they came up with. We just had a report in here. Again, you folks on YouTube, you don't know what you're missing in the live chat. Lone Wolf, put IEDs inside the escape pods. The Cutlass Red comes along, pulls it in, then boom.
I know who I'm not picking up.
Guess then you're ready to... I guess then you have Memo standing by ready to salvage it. Let's see. Oh, yeah. They're also working on finishing the back end of the party system that we'll be able to see. They're still working on aspects of it, though.
Dance emotes, yay!
Let's see. Let me get... going to talk a bit about this, the 10 for the chairman questions, because there was some good ones here. One thing being, apparently, if your shields are down, you cannot enter quantum mode. I didn't know about that, but this revealed that. So the thing is, if you don't want someone to escape, you got to keep their shields down. Even if you can hack a ship's shields down, it can't jump into quantum drive. And if you do interrupt its path, it pulls them out of quantum travel too, because they have to turn and veer, so that interrupts it. So all viable things that you might see. He did say they may not be early in the persistent universe, but they will be out there. NPCs are also going to be aware of the fact that they have finite shots with ballistic weapons or that they may overheat with lasers, and they are likely going to be more picky with their shots when that happens. I'm sure, again, that's still going to vary on their actual skill. They're going to have different skills depending on what you pay them. But it does sound like they're at least aware when they're like blowing off and near the end of their ammo. Your ammo. This was I also thought was surprising. He confirmed ships do not have necessarily the same speed in quantum drive or super cruise mode, as we've called it. Yeah, sorry, they don't call it super cruise, but do have a speed between combat and quantum. It is affected by a ship's mass and engine, and maybe temporary factors. So it does sound like ships are going to be traveling at slightly different velocities, even at those fast speeds.
I'm interested to see how that's going to work. That's, I mean, if you have less RAM, you're going to flow slower anyways, but if you try to put it in computer talk, I don't know. That's going to be interesting. I can't wait to see it.
Yeah. I thought it was interesting, too. Somebody was asking if the Vanduul are fundamentally evil. And, Chris Roberts was saying, as far as the UEE and your point of view, they're out to destroy us. Longer term, sounds like they might plan some interesting things, but they just see us as resources to take. So.
Well, there's 3 sides to every story. So just because you see one side and they have a different side.
Yeah. And you're right, Flomo. So not all ships are exactly at 0.2 the speed of light. There's going to be slight variations, is what they've said. I thought this was one of the best questions somebody asked. They were asking about, well, what effect will Alpha 2.0 have on our hangars, our sim pod, our holotable, all that stuff we set up. And he did say basically, that stuff is still going to exist. The hangars will exist. You can still choose to load into those and adjust your ships from there. You can also choose whether ArcCorp or part Allosaur from the hangar elevator and fly to any of them. But basically, they still say your hangar will be there. It will still be a hub that you can use for a lot of this stuff. They did say, too, the loading in the game is going to be streamlined, and you may have a choice. Where do you want to load in? Do you want to load in your hangar? Do you want to load in right away into, say, ArcCorp or something? They also said from Port Allosaur we will eventually see a Moby glass that will help us upgrade our ship armaments, but that's kind of a long-term plan.
Yeah, right now we still got that hollow table thing with the turning, and then they're gonna go to that the video that they showed us at the convention, where you click on the screen and it'll spawn that ship and it'll tell you which hangar to go to, which landing pad to go to, and then they're gonna try to integrate that into the Moby glass eventually as well.
Yeah. See, kind of throwing up some other banners. That first one just being shows some of the upgrades. What Cubby Blast used to be on the left and what it is now on the right. So it's pretty fun. Jump distances. Too early to be definitive. But it did say, yes, different ships are just going to have different ranges. Part of that's just going to affect your quantum fuel and the efficiency of your jump drives. Smaller ships are going to need more frequent fuel stops. And players in Starfares can act as floating gas stations to sell fuel to travelers. So that's pretty nice. Fits in with some of the other mechanics we've seen where players can set up shop somewhere and get some money. Probably even from the NPCs just as well as the PCs.
Fuel is going to be big in this game.
Okay. We're getting kind of close to the end of the show, so kind of skipping on to these next ones. I did think it was very nice, very added to it that they had a commentary, Plain Truth, Bishop's Betrayal. So here, after we saw that really nice video with Gary Oldman and kind of an intro thing there for Squadron 42, here's a guy putting out a piece that it's a conspiracy and, kind of blaming that the military may have been somewhat behind this for their overinflated budget. Thought it was interesting that they kind of throw that stuff in their universe too. We see that in the real world. We see it here too.
Not in the real world. I like how that adds flavor to the story in the game. That's pretty awesome.
I got one more good video to show everybody here. They showed us how a Misc Reliant takes off, and again, this has got some Xeon technology. They like their vertical ships. And the Reliant can kind of split between the two, horizontal or vertical. I don't know if folks can remember, Kurt, see inside that thing well. The seats stay upright even when the ship's spinning like that. So the whole cockpit on the outside is spinning, but on the inside, the seats just kind of going with it. So that's just got to be weird to kind of maybe see the ship spin around you as well.
It's got to be a little disorienting, but I think you get used to it eventually. It's pretty cool, though. I like that ship.
Man. Let's see. Okay. So let's see. The monthly report was really a great rundown on everything that they're doing. We kind of saw what they did with the Constellation. There's the item system going in that's going to be less resource intensive than what they've been using internally in the past. They've been busy at work completing those I don't know how to say this, Diegetic Screens for the multi-crew capable ships. Giving multi-crew screens improved real estate over which information can be passed to other stations. Hey, Whoop, you want to read some of these a bit? Because I got a phone ringing right next to me. Let's kind of get some stuff and we'll kind of close the show up. But I'm going to mute myself for a moment.
Okay, I don't even see that part in the notes, but that's okay.
Oh, that's at the bottom. The Santa Monica, Austin, Foundry 42.
Nope. Nope, not. Oh well. Problem solved. Oh, there it is. That was me calling you. Oh. Okay. This is awesome. Okay, so glitch report, white box, Constellation, one of the most anticipated ships of the game, prioritized recent design efforts around the flight handling that turn the flight characteristics to the center of mass. Center of mass is very important when you're flying, let alone driving. So, physics everywhere. Inertia can be awesome or deadly depending on how you use it. The UI HUD that he was talking about was a 16 by 9 diagonal screens. That's the regular 32-inch monitor, something like that. For the multi-crew ship, this gives multi-crew screens involved real estate, improved real estate over which the information can be passed to other stations, as well as broader details for each respective role. So these screens are going to be everywhere throughout the ship. You're going to be able to sit down at one of the stations or one of the substations, and that goes along with repairing parts of the ship as well. This will help the engineered style or class, whatever you want to call it, so that way you can repair certain things, power different things, whether it be the engines, the weapons, or the shields, whatever you like to do. Are you back?
I'm back.
Okay.
Yeah, we do have voicemail. Unfortunately, whatever it is, you're going to hear it in the background. So, since I don't know what they're going to say, oh, so we'll jump down because yeah, it's about to close the show. So I'll get to a few last final news bits here. Remember, folks, again, we're going to see you again on the 28th on my birthday. My birthday, but yet we're giving away a present if we get 25 people in the channel. So remember that. Giving away the roar if we get 25 people in here. Here, let me jump down. There's one big thing I did notice I had to get to. They're improving the Retaliator's damage so that you can actually split it in two, which was a bigger task than might be expected. And
it's a big ship.
Yeah, you know. They said, hey, it was no problem when you got little bits and pieces flying off, but now you might have big chunks of ships floating in space. That'd be fun. They are revisiting player careers to flesh them out, and they are also creating modular elements for space station-sized structures to experiment them so that they can also help kind of build those really quickly. All right. So, last thoughts before we go.
Turn off your phone.
Turn off the main phone. But it's one of the last dinosaur called a landline that exists these days, you know. It may go someday soon.
That happens. Okay. Yeah, get 25 people in here, people, and we'll next show, and I'll give away the Aurora anniversary kit. I'll put another link in there. It's very similar to the one that's in there right now. Where is it? I bought this over the anniversary kit last year. I think it was. It was pretty cheap. So we handed out what, like 3 of them already, 2 or 3.
We've handed over, yeah, a few things. You folks got to watch this show, get a chance to win some of these ships.
Yeah, you get 25 people in here next show, and I'll give it away. It's fine. Comes with everything you need to get started. Give it to your friends.
All right. So thanks all for joining us again for another week. Look forward to seeing you 2 weeks again when we discuss whatever happens at the big reveal. Like I say, Thursday, 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, and I will of course be at work.
Probably me too. If I didn't need money, it might be a different issue. We'll see.
Yeah, not to mention trying to get a second job to earn enough money for extra ships.
Yeah, a second job that'll make me 30 grand to buy ships in a game. Okay.
All right. Thank you all for showing up tonight. Pleasure having you.
Thanks for watching. Thanks, Lone Wolf, especially because you were in there talking. Come and get into the live stream and can chat. I don't mind.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid of you people.